Some of you may remember the golden days of radio. That's when the music wasn't played on records. It was played by live musicians right in the studio. Well, Amy Maffett tells us there's a station now in the New River Valley that's bringing back some of the good old days.
WPUV looks and sounds like an ordinary radio station. They play country and bluegrass here, like many Southwest Virginia stations. The difference is the music is not recorded. It's live.
Okay, well, welcome back, friends, to another WPUV Hoedown. We sure hope you folks are enjoying the program now.
Every other Saturday, the station brings back old-style radio and live music.
There's something fresh and immediate about a live band performing, just gathered around that single microphone, and they're just more spontaneous. It's really an exciting event.
WPUV is the oldest radio station between Roanoke and Bristol. It's been on the air since 1947. Back then, live music was the rule. Local acts and national groups on tour were frequently featured on live shows. But in recent years, live radio has died. This year at WPUV, it's been resurrected.
We wanted to have the live talent that's around this area get on the air. We want to bring back radio the way it used to be and music the way it used to be. A long time ago, there weren't records that people played on the radio. They just had the bands, and when we've got this wealth of musical talent in our area, we want to take advantage of that.
For bands like Dixie Gray, based right here in Pulaski, the Hoedown is a prime opportunity for exposure. In fact, some major country and bluegrass legends rose to fame on live radio.
A lot of people don't know this, but they got their start down at WCYB, which was in Bristol, Tennessee. And that's where they got their start from. And you know, Mac Wiseman was down there. Major legends got their start that way.
But even if Dixie Gray doesn't end up playing the Grand Ole Opry, they still could become one of the area's most popular bands. Announcer Old Bruce started singing with Dixie Gray just recently. He says the local listeners love local musicians.
We get an awful lot of requests. You know, when we start playing this thing and we start opening up the lines and say, well, you call me here at 980-1580, the phones ring off the hook, and then they'll start yelling, well, we want this and we want that. And the band, of course, will play it.
And as long as Dixie Gray and other local groups continue their partnership with WPUV, this relic of radio's past will remain part of its future. In Pulaski, Amy Maffett, Channel 10 News.
And by the way, musicians, WPUV tells us they're looking for new groups. Might want to call them. That's all for this edition of First News at 5:30. Stay tuned for Channel 10 News at 6, which is next. Good night.